What's up, everybody? On Friday, Gypsy Rose Blanchard went live on Instagram to show that she was out and about with no baby in sight to go see a Post Malone concert, which she somehow managed to get free tickets for with a friend that we do not know of. And I want to talk to you guys about that today. And if you're new to my channel, if you're unfamiliar with me, this is Morgan Allena True Crime and Mystery, where we talk about all kinds of things. But specifically today, we're going to talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and a few things that I picked up on her live video about this Post Malone concert. So let's get into that, but before we do, make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button so that way you can keep up with any new content or videos that I put out. So let's get into it. So Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I guess somehow I wasn't aware that she was going live, but I don't follow her pretty much anywhere, maybe on TikTok, but Instagram last night, and she was out and about going to a restaurant and waiting in line for a Post Malone concert. They got free tickets for this concert because a friend invited her. I'm not sure if they were just being given away or what the case was, but somehow Gypsy was lucky enough to be one of the individuals in the crowd seeing Post Malone, and she never really struck me as a Post Malone fan, but probably any excuse that she can get to go out and show herself off is good enough for her.
About an hour away. Thank you so much. And we're gonna get a bite to eat. I ordered a fries and a Pepsi, and we'll be good to go for a really good night. Do you want to hold the phone while I show them my outfit? Alright, so this is my outfit. So I have, it's a little loose because I bought this when I was pregnant. So I've got burgundy skirt. I've got cute boots. Everything was pre-approved by my sister because she has really great fashion. So she's been giving me tips. Alright, so just gonna wait on my...
And I found it really interesting that she was really concerned about going live when she has pretty much stopped going live, at least recently, especially on TikTok. And I think it's because there are certain people on TikTok that are very anti-Gypsy Rose Blanchard for good reason, obviously, as we can all agree. But I found it interesting that she decided to go where her more positive fans are, which I guess that would kind of make sense. But this is the second time that she's went out publicly showing herself after giving birth to her daughter on December 28th, which is just like a little bit over a month. And she was without kin. And I think that shows a lot about why she wanted to go live this time. And I think it's more so because she's trying to portray somebody that wants to stay out of the spotlight whenever she's with Ken, because I really think that Ken has an issue with the spotlight and the drama, because if you guys remember, Ken said that he ultimately ended up leaving Gypsy, well, aside from the excuse that he gave, saying that it was just so she'd find herself and learn to be independent because she was a little bit too codependent on her, or people were telling him to let her go, and all of these various nonsense excuses, which ultimately ended up making her leave her husband Ryan Anderson for Ken again after that. But the real reason that they really broke up was because Ken could not handle the media. He did not want to be named. He did not want to be a part of it in any sort of way, but he ultimately was outed, I want to say in Facebook groups or something like that. And it was a big problem on them. It ruined their relationship. And if you've ever seen one of the emails from when Gypsy was in prison, I think it was to, I don't know who it was exactly to, but it was basically talking about how Gypsy and Christy were no longer on speaking terms because she couldn't keep her mouth shut. And it had everything to do with the fact that Ken did not want to be a part of it. He wanted to have a private life. He wanted to be in a relationship with Gypsy only and not Gypsy's public relations, I guess, with people that want to get information about her story. And that was a breaking point for them. He didn't want to do it, and although he can say he just wanted to let her go and let her grow on her own, that's nonsense. Honestly, nobody believes that. I don't even think Gypsy herself believes that. I mean, she probably will make herself think that, but in her own strange little twisted head where she just somehow manages to like create a non-reality and it's just all fantasy and fairy tale for her. So I think that's why she has not been going live recently, and it has everything to do with Ken. I think he has a real issue, and I think that's why he comes so aggressively whenever he is online. Like, for whatever reason, he still chooses to go on the panels where he's talking with other creators and stuff. And he always comes off very aggressive, which I think he tried to at least be used to the public in a way whenever they were just overwhelmingly supportive and Gypsy had her show. But obviously things changed, clearly. And he started to kind of recluse a little bit back. And I just think he doesn't really need it for him to be happy in his relationship. I truly believe that. I don't know if he's necessarily in it for the fame. I mean, maybe the money's good, but I don't know if it's that good, you know what I mean? Because I've always considered if it was for money, he would have just stayed with her and just kept her on the hook while in prison, because it's even easier to be with somebody while in prison, but he ultimately ended up breaking up with her. And so I think that shows with the fact that the moment she's alone, she's instantly staying on live for a very long period of time. It wasn't like a 5-minute live. She was on there for quite a while they're standing in line and showing off her outfit and saying how it was approved by Mia, because I guess people don't ever shy away from criticizing her fashion choices, and she's very quick to say, oh, Mia told me to wear this, Mia said I should wear these shoes, Mia picked this out. And I think it's more so to do with the fact that she's very jealous of Mia, and she has always admitted to being very jealous of Mia. Understandably, I feel like we can all pretty much see that at this point, but I think she does it as a way to maybe test the public's reaction to see if maybe they're just saying they don't like her outfits just because it's her. I don't know. But it was weird. Either way, they didn't say where Ken was at that time, but I guess she had said that Christy was at home watching the baby, which, oh, crazy how that automatically happened after Gypsy had literally just said, not even, 2 weeks ago, that Christy never watched her baby. I mean, given the fact that the baby's only about 1 month old, and she's already leaving multiple times and needing time for her relationship and needing time to go out to a concert. And as soon as she's off parole, she's planning to go out of the state to go travel around because she's going to have her freedom and enjoy her freedom. And Christy and Rod are going to be stuck watching the baby, which I think that's one of the main reasons why Rod did not want her getting pregnant, because she's too immature, she's too self-centered to have a baby, and babies take up a lot of time and energy. Duh. Which is hilarious considering how Gypsy got so, abnormally enraged by Ryan Anderson questioning if she's really ready for the responsibility to have a dog. And dogs are relatively self-sufficient. I mean, you don't gotta do a whole lot of care. I mean, you gotta feed them and change their potty pads or, potty train them or whatever, but overall, it's not like a baby. You, lay a baby on the floor and they're helpless. Quite literally, they're helpless. And it takes 24/7 care for the next forever till you die, pretty much. And that's just how it is. And she's just not responsible enough or willing to provide the sacrifice that comes along with having a child, because she's too focused on her needs and her wants and her dreams that she's conjured up in some fantasy land. Yeah, she's got the baby that she wanted. That's just a check mark off of her list, and it has nothing, I've said this before, it has nothing to do with wanting an actual loving family or anything to do with wanting to be a mom. She has zero actual, nature's an interesting thing. It has a way about making mothers turn into actual mothers when they give birth to their baby. There's some biological things that happen that make you just feel attached and very protective of your child. And sometimes that doesn't happen. And I think Gypsy, I don't know if she expected it to happen in that way or what she really planned, but it didn't happen because she's clearly cool with just leaving the baby and doing whatever she wants, whenever she wants. And although she just really wants to maintain this persona of not wanting to be recognized and not wanting anybody to notice her, nothing says notice me like walking down the street with your phone right in your face on live
Look at all these people. Oh boy. Oh boy. Just been recognized. Hi. Just got recognized, guys. Funniest thing is I bought sunglasses so I wouldn't be recognized.
I thought about that. I was like,
I did buy some, but it's nighttime and I kind of felt like it would be weird me wearing sunglasses. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
like I know. Oh, they made a freaking.
Way in the back of the room.
I love freaking.
There's a lot of security, which is great. At least we'll be safe. Jesus. Oh my God.
Like, how are you going to pretend you don't want to be noticed when you're live streaming to thousands of people that follow you on Instagram? And typically whenever somebody's walking like this, like, you're gonna notice them regardless. It's not anything to do with, oh, just fame or recognition. Like, you're gonna see what they're doing if you're at least somewhat aware of your surroundings. So it will draw attention because, you know, people will be looking to see, oh, are they taking a picture of me, or who are they talking to, or, you know, whatever. So she's clearly drawing this attention to herself, despite trying to pretend like she just didn't want to be recognized. And it's like, oh gosh, guys, we're recognized. Oh, it happened. Like, oh, this is the moment that she's desperately craving. And this is who she really is and what she's really about, is she thrives on this attention. And all of this stuff about wanting peace and privacy in her family and not needing any of this is just clearly not true. I mean, we all can tell. There are just some people that need it to survive, like they need air to breathe. And Gypsy is one of those people that needs the attention 24/7. You can just see it written all over her entire face, the joy that she got lighting up whenever somebody stopped to recognize her. And then wanting to be like, oh, I bought sunglasses, but I just thought it would be weird wearing them at night. Like, why are you live streaming to your thousands of followers if you don't want people to A, know where you're at, or B, recognize you? That's just so bizarre. The actions don't match the words, which is, you know, pretty standard for Gypsy Rose, but I just can't understand the point in all of it. Like, if that's what she wants to do, why can't she just, like, not own it? And I think it truly just has to do with she's playing Ken and playing this, like, mind game with him, that she just is over this. She doesn't want the attention, and she wants what he wants, and whatever he wants, she's gonna just fit her part. And it's all just acting to her, and it's fitting into a role that she's giving herself, same as with her whole thing when she was little. I think she really just manages to fool those people that are around her, whether it be Rod or Christy or Ken. She takes on a different role and persona with every single person that's around her and matches it to what they are, you know, displaying that they want in a person, or what they need from her. She's picking up on these subtle cues. So with Ken, she's showing that she doesn't want to be in the spotlight. She wants a private, happy life. She doesn't want anything to do with any of it. She just wants to be happy and to be a good mom to her baby, and to be a better mom than she ever had, which is, I mean, honestly, I don't know why she even said that, because the bar is, like, absolutely on the ground. Not really. I mean, Dee Dee wasn't that bad, but, like, comparatively to what Gypsy tries to let on to what her mom was, easy peasy. So I guess that's why she's really not trying hard, and that she's already planning to leave as soon as she's off of parole, and to leave the baby with Rod and Christy. I think that she just doesn't actually care enough to change anything about herself in a way that's actually productive or good or healthy for her. She only cares about getting the attention that she's wanted her entire life and that she's received her entire life. And some people are just honestly like that. That's just how they are. They crave it and they thrive on it. And there's nothing you can really do to change it, because no matter what situation you're in, they're always going to somehow be in the center of it all. And I think that's clearly what she's doing from these clips. Like, if you just watch her and the way that she lights up the moment that somebody recognizes her and pretends like, oh gosh, you know, here we go, guys. Someone noticed me. Like, you're not just walking around trying to make yourself very incredibly noticeable. Like, oh, I was afraid of this. You know, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me why she wants to portray this. And I think the only reason she does is because of Ken. I think if she honestly had it her way, she would still be going live and getting all the attention, whether positive or negative. I mean, she's clearly displayed that in her character and the way she's behaved previously on TikTok. And I think, honestly, maybe it's possible that Ken gave her some sort of ultimatum. Especially considering, like, that was one of the main reasons he left her in the first place, you know, despite what he says or what Christy says and what led to them getting back together. Like, I don't care about any of that. I don't believe any of that. I think it's just drama and the incessant need for attention and to have everybody in your business at all times. That can be very overwhelming, and I think he really wants to stay away from that. And I think he's pretty clear about that. He wants to have a normal life with his baby, and I think he's slowly going to realize that the woman that he loves doesn't actually exist, and it's just something that she's created for the time being until she gets tired of it. Especially now that she's got her child that she wanted and has her way that she's tied to him by. You know, it's not anything that she wanted for any reason outside of being selfish and as a way to control and manipulate Ken. And it's very clear she's put in zero effort to try to change anything about herself, to have any sort of accountability whatsoever. She just really feels like she deserves all of these things in her life just for existing. And that's really not the case. That's a pretty unusual thing. So not only did she get away with literal murder, who most people would either A, be sentenced to death for themselves or serving life in prison without the possibility of parole until like at least 50 years old. She got such a slap on the wrist, and even that wasn't good enough, which is so crazy to me that she was trying to get clemency from President Trump whenever he was first elected. They were trying to sign petitions to get her out earlier with her already very, very generous sentence after doing what she did to her mother. Like, do you understand how crazy that is? She can't even acknowledge that she was given an extremely, like, light sentence. It's like a gift giving her life back to her. She doesn't even acknowledge it. She thinks she was still punished too harshly for what she did in her mind. And I don't think she's that stupid enough to like really believe that she had no part in it and she didn't, you know, actually commit the act. So there's a huge difference there. I don't think she's that dumb. I think she's much smarter than in the ways of manipulating people than what people give her credit for. Not so much like general IQ type of intelligence, but like ways of manipulation and masterminding and scheming. I think she's very good at it, and I think she's probably gonna get away with it for the rest of her life. She puts no actions into bettering herself in any sort of way. But I mean, why would you whenever you get everything that you want, no matter what, from anyone that you want? Why would she change? There's no need to change. She just continues to grab and pull from these various roles that she assigns for herself, and that's good enough for her because she's not actually any one of those people that she portrays herself to be. Including that of being a loving mother, clearly. She's already planning to leave the child, which I think that's what Rod and Christy were pretty much afraid of in the first place. That's why they didn't want her to have a baby. She's not willing to sacrifice or give the baby what she needs, so she's going to be a bad mother in the opposite of Dee Dee, in that she's going to neglect the child and just disregard the child's feelings probably, which that's very common among sociopathic women when they are mothers. Children's emotional needs are always neglected because nobody's feelings matters more than the mom's, right? And I don't know. I just found it really interesting that she really made it a point to go out there and show everybody that, hey, I'm still popular, I'm still amazing, people still love me in spite of what the little TikTok trolls and haters say. And that's what I deserve because you guys are just bullies. right? But even if you guys are watching this clip, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think it's just bizarre that she's still somehow trying to portray both sides and that she's still somehow managing to grift from every single person and individual that she meets, getting all of these free things and experiences and appreciates literally none of it? She just wants it because it's free and it's being given to her and she feels like she deserves it. It's not even anything that she just really wants either, which is crazy to me. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button. And if you are new here, make sure to go check out some of my older videos about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her case. I do deep dives on her case and give you a lot of information and details that sometimes people overlook and I feel like are very important. So go check those out if you're new to this or whatever. But be sure to just let me know what you guys think down in the comments of Rose behavior and her free concert tickets that she just so amazingly deserves, apparently, according to her. But I will see you guys later. Bye!